anime are a dime a dozen, and this season is no exception, with tons of anime coming out this season being fantasy. So why should you watch another fantasy anime? Because this one sticks out among the rest. You see, our main character is not a human. He is known as a beast fallen, half man, half beast. Looks like a beast, but you know, everything else is pretty much human on the inside. And he doesn't like witches, and he ends up partnering up with a witch. Now, you're probably thinking, whoa, Sloan, that sounds like one of those buddy cop shows where it's like, hey, I don't like you, I don't like you, we're never gonna get along, and then obviously they get along in the end. Well, I would have to say nay to that, sir, because the witch doesn't hate the beast man. We don't really have his name, so we're just gonna be calling him Mercenary because that's what the witch Zero calls him. So Mercenary hates witches. The witch Zero doesn't really hate or dislike Mercenary at all. She just needs him as a bodyguard because turns out Zero is most likely the most powerful witch of them all. And that reminds me, another thing that makes this anime, fantasy anime, original from all the others is that this takes place during the recent discovery of magic. Humans and all sorts of creatures are still learning about what magic is. They're scared of it. They blame magic on even natural disasters like the plague, the hurricanes, tornadoes, the death of a family member. They blame it on witches. Witch huntings are the new trend, and even witches are hunting down beast fallens. Basically, the world is in a big old chaos because no one knows what the fuck is going on. And I like that. This is the 5th century. Still in the beginning, people are still learning, and I like that. This is a very unique setting in the fantasy genre, because normally fantasy anime take place either maybe over at a magic school academy or over at where sorcerers and mages and stuff like that are common. People understand what they are, and you know, then they team up, fight the dragon, fight the demon king, whoever, you know, stuff like that happens all the time. But since we're over at the very beginning of magic, people are still trying to learn the difference between magic and sorcery, and that makes things really interesting. The OST is also amazing. We have a nice orchestra soundtrack here with lots of string instruments being played, and it sounds great. I was just like so zoned in to like the first minute or so of the episode because of that OST, and that intro was also pretty badass as well. Just I love the setting, I love the tone of the series, and I'm excited to see more. You see, the reason why Mercenary and Zero have to team up is because her book has been stolen. Not only that, but that book just so happens to be the most powerful book for magic known to man. And if it falls into the wrong hands, this person could end the world as we know it. So it's up to Zero and Mercenary to team up and find the Grimoire of Zero so they can save the world! Ha ha ha! You know, I'm having fun with this anime and I'm excited to see where it goes. Sure, it may get a little cliche here and there because this is still a fantasy anime. It has to have some similar elements to other fantasy anime. There's no escaping that. But so far the premise seems very original, nice and fresh, and I'm enjoying the ride. So let me know if you're going to stick with this anime, if you're going to give it a 3-episode test, if you're going to hold it off for a little bit, and catch me tomorrow as I review Akashic Records and Suka Suka. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.